Hello crafters, in tonight's video we're going to be making a birthday card using the Country Birdhouse Photopolymer stamp set and Country Birdhouse dies. And we'll also be using the Country Woods Designer Series paper and the Country Lace Designer Series paper. Now you can make your birdhouse using these two Designer Series paper and change it up so it doesn't look anything like mine. And you've got different stamps you could use. Hi, I'm Joan Heberlein, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I created this video for Joan's Simple Paper Crafts found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I want to thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically every other week. Now give me a few seconds to turn the camera down and we'll get started. Well, here's that Country Birdhouse card we're going to be making tonight. We've got the happy birthday on the front, and on the inside we have hoping you have the best day ever. And I carried this design onto the inside of the card. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the Country Lace Designer Series paper. And this is from our Country Woods Designer Series paper. And this is some more of that Country Lace through here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We use the Country Birdhouse for this card, and we're going to use this stamp, this stamp, this stamp, this stamp, and this stamp, this stamp, and these two stamps. And then for the dies, we're going to be using this one, this one, this one, all these three, and this one, the big one, and this one, just about all of them, really. This bird, this one, and this one. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start by doing our DSP on the inside of the card. That needs to be stamped, and let's get that stamped right away. And we're going to use our Memento ink, Tuxedo Black, and we will use that sentiment we found on the card. Hoping you have the best day ever. And we just want to get that lined up right about here. So it's on the upper half of the card, and then I'm centering it right to left. And then we're going to stamp it off. Just to get that extra ink off from there. And I'm going to scrub that in just a second here. Get this out of the way. Then I want to stamp some other things here. This one here, we're going to stamp our birdhouse. And let's get our stamp pad out here. This helps add padding for these photopolymer stamp sets. So we have our bird here. Okay. Then we have one of those flowers. And I have another flower right here. And I already colored these other flowers. I didn't need to do all of them at once. Then let's go ahead and just start coloring these. We'll do the small one first. Let me clean up these stamps first. I'm going to use my Stampin' scrub, and we're going to spray this side with our Stampin' mist. Let me cover this up so you don't get any ink in there. And then we'll just scrub it on the wet side. And I know that this is going to be the wet side because there's a raindrop there. And then this has a sunshine up there. So we know that's going to be the dry side. And we're done for right now. And then we'll go ahead and bring in our dark flamingo. And I'm going to go around the center of the flower and around the base part of the flower in that dark flirty flamingo. Then we're going to take our light flirty flamingo and we're going to bring that in and just kind of blend it. And I did that with this one, this one, this one, and that one. Just the same technique. Then we're going to bring in our old olive, and we're going to use the light one first. Then we'll take our dark old olive and we're going to just bring this in and just do a little tiny stroke. So I'm trying to barely touch the cardstock. Just add a little dimension there. And then for our bird, we're going to bring in our light Night of Navy and our light Balmy Blue. And one more. Our light Smoky Slate. And I'm going to take the light Smoky Slate and I'm going to put it on down on his belly. I'm going to look at mine because I don't remember how far up I went on that. And I'm going to use the brush side. So we're going to go like this. I'm just going to bring it up here. Okay. Then for the beak and the feet, we're going to use a light Cajun Crage. And we're just going to just touch that up. Then we need our light Night of Navy. And we're going to just do the rest of the body. And I'm going to do the light Balmy Blue and the tail feathers first. I want it to kind of give it that faded look. Do some right up here too. Oh, sorry, my head. And then we'll just bring this back here again. See if we can't drag this dark blue up into here, the tail feathers. And we'll blend a little bit down here as well. And then for the eye, I'm going to take a gel marker, and this is more like a gel pen, and I'm just going to touch his eyeball to give it just a white dot. I'm hoping I have the smallest one here. And let's do it up here first. We've got to get it going. And then we do the same thing with these. So we're going to do the flowers in the light Night of Navy, like these out here. Then we'll use our old olive, the light old olive, for the leaf. And we're not going to try and add any more texture to this. We'll leave it as is. Then we're going to use our pink. So dark flirty flamingo. We're going to go around the base here. I'm just going to go up the sides there. And then we'll use our light flirty flamingo. And we're just going to finish the rest of that. And we probably should have waited just a few more seconds to let that dark flirty flamingo evaporate, because I think it's just all blending way too easily. I'm just going to go around. Then we need our Daffodil Delight, and I have the dark Daffodil Delight, and we're going to just put a dot in the center. You know what? I am going to use my color lifter first, because I want to take some of that pink out of there. So we'll use this on these little things over here. Just going to do a dot on each of those, and then we'll do it in the middle here. Okay. So then we can cut all of those out, and we'll bring in our mini cut and emboss machine for this. And we're going to need to use this pattern right here. Oh, you can hardly see it. It is the number 1 plate on the bottom, and then 2 number 2s. This is the number 1 plate. Here's one of the 2s, and here's another one. So we're going to do this one, and we'll do this one. I'm going to get those lined up and use some tape on those. And I'll show you what we've got for tape here in just a second. Let me get this one down. Sorry about my head. This is what we're going to be using. The Post-it label cover tape. It sticks securely or removes cleanly, and you can use it over and over again, which I'm doing. This is stuff that I've used before. And I've got one more. And this one. Oh, not this one. We already got that one cut out. This one here. And I think I need to lift that up because that's going over on that. I don't know if I'm going to get this one done. I might have to do another pass at this. I'm going to just do two. So there's our next flower. And here's the bird. And then we got one more we can do on this. We're going to do our leaves from here. And then we'll color them after we get them cut out. So there's no stamp for this. And I want them to be that same coloring as when I use a pen. So we're just going to come back in and we're going to color this one right here with our Stampin' blends. I'll use this. And we're going to use our light old olive. And we'll use that broad stroke marker. All right, very good. So we have a couple more dies we want to do. First of all, I'm going to do this one here. That's going to be this point right up here. And then we'll do a piece for the bird perch on the same paper. And this is from the Country Birdhouse Designer Series paper as well. I'm just going to line it up right here. And I'm going to just take one of these and we can just put our next plate on there. There we go there. Then we need to use some of our basic black for the stand. And I think I've got a piece here that'll work. And this one I'm going to double duty on it too. I've got a piece down here and I'm going to put some tape on that so that doesn't shift on me. And then we want to do a narrow strip up here. There. We can do that right here. And I'm going to tape that one down too. Just don't want them to shift on me. I'm using scrap paper, so it's not a lot of room there. If it shifts, then I will be out of luck. That one worked. And then this one is going to work too, to be sure. So I can't find my take your pick tool, but that'll work. There. Then we got one more. That's going to be from the Country Lace. So we will do that one right here. And I'm just going to do it like that. I don't worry about getting it on the pattern there, because I'm going to stamp on top of it, and then you won't even really be able to see the pattern. Okay, that one's done. I'm going to get these out of our way so we don't lose them. This one, and we have one more we need to do here, and this house we need to do yet. Let's do our next one. I'm thinking we're going to have stuff on the bottom of here. Let me move this. So we need to have this one here yet, and that's going to be that brown paper we had. I could have done that at the same time had I been thinking. Do this right here. And then we have to do our house yet. And I'm going to use some paper for that. I want to stamp on here. Obviously I'm using paper for this. I want to stamp on here first before I die cut it. And I want to find a spot in here that's going to allow me to have the perch be more visible. So right about here is going to be great because that's where the perch is going to be, right here. And there's not a lot of pattern in that area. So I'm just going to get out my ink. We're going to use our Memento ink. And I do want to have it up here when we do our stamping. I'm using the Tuxedo Black here. Okay. And now we're going to just stick it on here. And we wanted it in that spot where there wasn't a lot going on, right about here. That's where we want it. Then we're going to clean this up right away. Okay, so I'm just going to take my snips and kind of trim that off so we can run it through our cut and emboss machine. I need to have it down to about 3 inches. So I just cut that out. And then we will take it in our cut and emboss machine. And I need my tape here. All right, I think we're done with our cut and emboss machine now. So we'll just take this off from here. Just making sure there's nothing stuck on the bottom. So this is for the top part, and this is for the top part as well, in here. And then we should have one of these, and I have a couple more there. And that's the inside of the card. Okay, let me see if I can't figure this out. So we're going to bring in our glue gun, and I'm going to use this one instead of this. So I'm going to use My Sweet Petunia. This allows me to do a lot of more detailed work than what this will, because I have trouble squeezing this. So this is going to help me do my work a lot easier. Okay, we are going to bring this in. We're going to do some stuff onto here first before we go on to our other paper. We want to bring in our silicone mat. So we're going to take this and we want to put the top on there. And I found out from this one that you can see the blue underneath. So I'm going to clip that off because I really don't like that. I don't think that it's true to what it would look like. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut it right at this round spot, right about there. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And you probably didn't see that. Well, let me bring this in. I cut off this end here. And this was what I had to cut that off too on both sides. Okay, so now we can glue it on our top. And I'm barely squeezing and it's coming out so easily. I do want to give you one tip though. You want to make sure that you're putting it back in this holder every time you're done using it, because this is a rubber thing and it'll seal that off so that the glue won't dry out on you. So each time you're done using it while you're assembling your card, put it right back in that holder. And we're going to just do this right up here. That worked. And this one comes next. That's the basic black is next. And you see there's not a whole lot of glue on there, but you don't need it because I'm using the same glue that you would use in this bottle here. It's the same glue. I just poured it into the canister. So you don't really need a whole lot of glue. Yippee skippy, right? And the next piece is going to be this one here. And we need to stamp that with our stamp here. It has little decorations on there, and I'd like to get that on there. And we're going to use our crumb cake to do that. But I am going to stamp off with the crumb cake and then stamp it onto this piece here. And then do stamp off again and get it on there again. And I'm going to stamp off and use my Stampin' scrub to clean this off. Alright, so then we can glue this down. Let me get this closed up before we have it all over. Okay, so we'll put some glue on this. Very good. Then we're going to take our dot. I think we got a couple of them here. And we're going to build up our perch for our birdhouse. And we'll do this one first. I'm going to see if I can't find my take your pick tool. That's going to work really well, isn't it? Do another one. This just gives it a little dimension there, like the perch is coming right off from the birdhouse. And one more. So I did 3. Then I'm going to take our basic black, and I'm going to do the hole where the bird comes through. And this is the dark basic black. And I'm just going to go around here. And I'm going to go and use the wide tip. Make sure my head's not in your way. Okay. Then we have one more we want to do, because we want to glue this down here. That's the base of bird feeder. Then we have our post, and so that we're going to do once we get it onto our piece of cardstock that we're going to be using. So let's take this. We'll come back to this in a few minutes. So we're going to fold this and burnish it. And I like to burnish it on both sides. So this was 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, or 14 centimeters by 21.6 centimeters. And I folded it and burnished it on both sides so that it gives a nice crisp edge there. Next we want is our pool party, and that's cut at 4 inches by 5.25 inches. And we need 2 pieces of that. So we're going to put one on the outside and on the inside of the card. So we can do that right now. And then we're going to take our next piece, which is 3 7/8 by 5.125 inches, or 9.8 centimeters by 13 centimeters. And this is the one that we'd stamped. So we're going to put that on the inside of the card as well. And then we're going to have just 1/16 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. The pool party, we had 1/8 of an inch for a border of that basic black. So we're going to do the same thing here on the front.
have that 1/8 of an inch for a border on all 4 sides. And I'm just going to take this off of here. There's a little bit of burrs that are there. And I think they're loose already because they came off. Then we're going to take our, this is our country lace. And we're going to finish assembling our card on here before we get it inside. So we're going to put that down like that. Probably a little too much glue there, but we'll be fine. So I'm going to center it from right to left, and then about a 1/4 of an inch at the top there. Then we're going to put on our post here. And you're going to say, it's going to run off. I know it's going to run off, but we'll trim it. That's why you want to put this on the paper before you put the designer series paper onto the cardstock. It's a lot easier to trim it now than later. So you want it to be about that halfway point. So let me just turn it this way. Yeah, we are there. And we're going to just push those down. And now we can trim this off. Oops, this one came up. Then we can put this back on here. And then this is going to be 1/16 of an inch to that pool party. And then we're going to put our bird on there next. And I'm going to trim off some of that white that's on the bottom there. Taking my glasses off so I can see. I want it to sit right on the edge. Then we're going to take this here. We're going to put that up right there. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. Not dimensionals, but some glue dots to add some dimension so it doesn't have to press all the way down. So this is about a sheet of a paper, piece of paper thick. And we'll do that on those flowers there. Then we'll add glue up here. And I need to put my, and I don't remember how they go on, so let me take a look. We want them to be on right about there. So I'm going to just put a little glue right here. I want to have them go on in the right spot. And then I'm going to put some glue on the back side of them. And I've got glue all over my finger because I forgot I had put glue on the flowers already. So let me just redo that because it's all on my finger and not on here anymore. Then we want to just put it down right about here. And I'm going to just touch that up with my glue gun. And I should get my fingers clean because it's sticking to my fingers rather than the paper. Okay, then we got this side we want to do. And I'm going to want to put flowers at the base, glue those down, but then have some of the glue dots up by the flower heads. So we're going to do that. We'll grab that right away. And then we'll put some glue on here. And we'll take this and we'll just put that on. I think we just glued it down. I don't think we put any glue dots on that one. So we're just going to glue it down. And all we need to do is put our stamp on here and some gems. Trying to get the glue off my fingers there. So we have our happy birthday stamp we want to use, and we want to have it split. So I'm going to just put half the ink on this side and put happy down, and then we'll do the other half for the birthday. And I'm going to get out my Stampin' scrub so we can scrub that off between our stamping here. So we'll do the happy part first. And I'm going to do it right here. And I'm trying to get my head out of the way. Then we're going to just scrub this off. I stamped it first on some paper to get that excess ink off. Trying to keep our Stampin' scrub somewhat clean. And then we're going to do the birthday. Just a little bit crooked, but not too bad. You can leave it like that. And I'm going to stamp it off and scrub again. So what we need next is our gems. And let's take our Take Your Pick tool. And here we go. And we're going to use these. They are the Basic Gray and Smoked Slate Pearls. And I'm just going to take some of these and put one up here, another one right about here, and then maybe one right in here. Stuck on my finger to that glue that's on my finger. Let's do one right about here. Okay, that looks great. Let's bring this out. I hope you liked this project as much as I did. With all the birds outside, I had to make a birdhouse. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you enjoyed today's video, would you do me 2 favors? Click the thumbs up emoji, which means you like it, and would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or would like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Mark your calendars. I'll be back in 2 weeks on Sunday, March 30th at 7 p.m. Central Time, and I'll be doing something from the Country Flowers stamp set. I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight. I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.